the Sculpt calendar method. This is something that we designed many years ago. We should have trademarked it. We didn't trademark it. It's everybody in the world uses it and can use it. And we're happy that people are using this simple technique to help them visually stay on track. Right now, we're starting to see some trends in the world. People are struggling to stay focused. People are struggling to have structure in their life. There is a lot of downtime right now. And we're finding in the corporate world, in the personal world, that people, when you have too much time in your hands, when you get in your head, chaos generally ensues. And it's important to have some structure. It's important to have some focus. It's important to have accountability and something or someone to look forward to. Something to look forward to. So the Sculpt calendar method definitely helps with that. So let me just dive right in. So every year I go to Costco and I get, it's not Costco, Staples, one of those great big giant calendars. It's like that big with the dates on it. And I throw it up on a wall so that I can see it every day. I don't want to miss it. I want to see it because I need to know visually where I stand, sort of in a nutshell, and in a hurry. Quick visual, and I know, okay, I better shape up or ship out today, kind of a thing. So this is what we call the calendar method. I'm going to show you April. So April's coming, and I want you all to have a calendar somewhere in your bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom. I don't care where you put it, but put it somewhere where you can see it every single day and make sure it's a big one. So April's coming, and I want everybody, this is the challenge for you, I want everybody to have a calendar ready to go because we're all visual and we all seem to do a little bit better. These layering, the layers of accountability that I'm always talking about, this is another one. This is a great visual layer of accountability. So there's a chart up here that kind of explains what we're doing in a nutshell. X means you had a perfect day. And what I mean by a perfect day is not perfect. Remember, progress over perfection. Perfection doesn't work, but some days you're perfect. And what I mean by that is you've had 5 healthy meals minimum throughout the day. You've spaced them out. They're whole foods. They're nutritious. You've had 5 of those throughout the day. You've had 2 to 3 liters of water in the day. And you've moved. Let's say a minimum of a half an hour. I don't care what that is, whether it's a walk, whether it's, it doesn't matter what it is, but you've had movement in the run of a day and you haven't cheated. That would be a perfect day. So Sunday is April 1st, April Fool's Day. And Sunday, you're raring to go, you do your food prep, you get everything done, nothing gets in your way, and you have a perfect day because you're good to go. So you get a great big X on your calendar for that day. Monday rolls along and you're still ready to go and you're pumped up about your results from the day before and you have another perfect day. That's 2 perfect days in a row. That's fantastic. Tuesday hits, something goes sideways. Now, the second part on the chart shows that it's not exactly perfect, but not a disaster. And what I mean by that is maybe you had your 5 meals, maybe you had 2 to 3 liters of water, but you didn't get movement in. Maybe you got your movement in, but you only drank 1 liter of water. Maybe you got the 2 to 3 liters of water in the movement, but you only had 4 meals or even 3 meals. That's not necessarily the best thing, but you got it in. But that's not a complete disaster. That is what I call a half good day. And then the next day you're pumped up again, you're motivated, you have another perfect day. And then let's say Thursday hits and something happens, you're at work or the chill, whatever the case is, you don't get your movement in, you don't get enough water in, and the meals are sort of a disaster. Let's just call that a bad day. And these days happen. This is part of life. But after that bad day, you get right back on track because you don't want to have 2 bad days in a row, so the next day is a perfect day. Saturday hits. Let's say your friend shows up and they got the wine out, you're doing your thing, but you still got your exercise in, you still drank your water, you just stumbled a little tiny bit. Well, that's not a disaster. But then you're hungover because maybe you drank just a little too much and Sunday you need that greasy food and it's just a bad day. Hey, it happens. But let's say, okay, this is, when I see this on my calendar, when I see one of those cheat, bad, horrible days, I immediately get right back on track. And I have another perfect day. Let's say you have another perfect day. Let's say you have a couple of these. Let's say you have a couple of these in a row. Let's say, heaven forbid, well, you see 2 of those in a row, you want to get back on track. So you get a great big X there. And let's say for the first time ever, you got 3 or 4 X's in a row. That's fantastic. Then you crash and burn. Then you have one of these, and you crash and burn again. Then you have another X. And let's say another X. Let's say a half day, another X. A cheat day, an X, a cheat day, an X. Okay, so let's do some math. Simple math on this. When I look at that calendar, that is absolutely phenomenal. When you look at this calendar, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cheat days, a few of these not so perfect days, but you got a lot of X's in there. Now let me ask you, and be honest with yourself, the month before in March, or let's go back to February, let's go back to January, I bet you your calendar looked like this, because I know mine did. You know, I bet you my calendar was all black, just like yours probably was. So don't focus on these. Use those as momentum. Use that as momentum to get you the next X's. But it's a visual, and trust me, it works. It's simple, but very, very effective. That's the calendar method. It worked for me. It continues to work for me, and I guarantee you it'll work for you. Get those calendars up on your wall. It's a visual. You're accountable to that calendar. You're accountable to me. You're accountable to yourself. I want you to succeed, and this is one of those methods. This is one of those really cool, simple things that'll help you reach your goal. So the quote of the week for this week: you can't stop someone who refuses to be stopped. It's a mindset. I say this all the time. You guys hear me say that all the time. This is all about a mindset. And a good mindset, a positive mindset, a focused and a driven mindset is impossible to beat. It's impossible to stop someone who refuses to be stopped. So I hope you're that person. And if you are, I hope everyone gets out of your way. And I hope you reach all of your goals.